Hey guys, welcome to TechCity Discuss. My name is Bella Rose Okoji.
I'm Shaliwa Williams.
I'm Dolapo Inwadi.
And it is so good to be back. It was a very interesting election period. There was a postponement. Thankfully, we have been able to get that out of the way and we have forged ahead as a country. Or so we think. There's issues that have already stemmed after the elections. You could call them post-election issues, and one of such is the situation between Google, yes, and the Nigerian Communications Commission. We'll talk about that. And 30 years with internet, the World Wide Web, Tim Berners-Lee is being remembered this month. All that we'll be talking about on the show today, and a few new discoveries. Stay here.
So the NCC says that Google Station, that's the Google free Wi-Fi thing, might be illegal.
That's a surprise because it's not the first time that Google is doing this. This has been on for, if I'm correct, at least a year. It's been on for that long. So it's weird that NCC is coming
At this
in
time.
2019, March precisely, to say it is an illegal project. And I mean, when you look at all of the questions and some of the conversations online about this, it is literally impossible for a company like Google to go ahead and carry on this project without having some form of agreement, some form of documentation, some form of approval from a body, an organization like the NCC. They are the regulators of the telco, of the communication sector. So it's weird when they say it is illegal. And that's on one hand. On another hand, I mean, looking at the reputation of the company as well, and how, to a very large extent, they have been able to push for, better use of the internet. They've done a lot of projects as well that have encouraged internet penetration in Nigeria. You would expect that the NCC would deal with this issue, with Google, without taking it to the public. Sort this out in the background, and then see how you can work out whatever issues that you have. But then, of course, there are questions around the fact that Google does not provide internet. They are not ISPs.
I was about to say that.
So why are you attacking Google? They are in partnership with some other ISP that the NCC must have some kind of relationship with. So why not take it to them? Why attack, the company directly?
So they have this thing. I was questioning why they were saying that this thing is illegal. And they say there's the issue of privacy. They asked Google for some documents that verify the preservation of people's data and all of that and how they use this data. Because, when you log into the Google Station thing, they ask for SMS and all of that and some things like that. And then Google was not providing this information. So let's look at both sides. Why is Google not providing this information? Why are they hiding it? Because this is not the first time that they are being asked about some of these things for data privacy and all
Even
of that.
outside Nigeria.
Yeah, in France, they were fined for 50 million euros because they refused to provide some.
Versus the US Congress.
Last year.
So they refused to provide some of this information to the, I don't know, the body that handles all of this in France, and they were fined. So is Google hiding something?
I mean, so we tried to reach out to Google, sent an email with a few questions, hoping that we would get some kind of some answers, basically. But they put out a press statement saying that right now the project, the free Wi-Fi project, is operating legally, and they are still liaising with all the concerned authorities and bodies, to forge their way ahead. I mean, I really wish we could get something more detailed and more explicit, but fingers are crossed on that.
So there's also the a side that says probably NCC is just trying to protect these local telcos. So with Google providing free Wi-Fi, maybe it's affecting some of these telcos and all of that. So they're just looking out for their interest. It's probably not just NCC. We don't know what is going on also behind the discussions that they have. They may have discussed how Google's penetration, in the internet market is affecting their ISP provision to,
But I mean,
citizens at large.
I hear that, but when you look at where we are, where we hope to, get to as an internet savvy country, I think that this is a good thing. So while I understand that telcos will be concerned about how people would not buy retail data from them and all of that, and they would instead use Google Wi-Fi. I think that presents them an opportunity to innovate. I just want to take the actual message that was sent to us from Google when we reached out to them for a statement, and it goes: Google station is operating legally in Nigeria. We are liaising with all parties to clarify all issues. So fingers crossed on exactly where this leads us. But this just might be NCC trying to show that
They have
power.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, www.
Really?
That's it. Wait.
Okay. Well, wait.
You didn't get it?
No.
Did you get it?
Whoa.
Please don't let me out, please.
Wait. Wait.
Oh God, the top.
I'm not categorically.
What? Oh, that's nice.
So the World Wide Web is 30 years old, and it's amazing. It seems like it's been on for a very long time.
I know. I feel like
30 years.
yeah, it was there before I was born. So I just feel like there's been some like ancestral thing.
Because the interesting thing is the millennials, who are a huge part of the World Wide Web, grew up using it. I mean, it's 30 years old, so even if you were probably 8 or 9 at the time, you were still relatively young. So that's why it seems like it's been there since forever.
And we're not exactly exposed to it early enough in Nigeria.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the reasons why it's like, oh, it's been there for a long time. It existed in other places. I was going through Google's stories on Instagram, and they had a very interesting post update that showed a few things from back in the day, the first ever YouTube video and what it looked like, and a few other very interesting information. I thought it was very nice to see. And what I love is the fact that we're able, and perhaps this is one of the biggest advantages of the World Wide Web and the internet, the fact that you are able to, backtrack and see exactly how things have evolved and how things have changed. You're able to go back to things that existed many years ago to see exactly where they started from and where they are right now.
If we could talk about the history, because I mean, it would be important, for viewers to understand, like the origin of the World Wide Web and everything. So from Tim Berners-Lee in 1989, he was preparing, as a software engineer, 33-year-old at the time, so was, equally young. And then he was preparing...
he's still alive, by the way.
Yes, but like, he's not dead, he's like, really young. So he submitted a proposal to his boss titled Information Management, where he was trying to look for how some of his colleagues and computer scientists around the world could share information with one another and manage their information, basically. Not around the world, but computer scientists basically in his office and probably, in other parts could exchange information. And then it has grown to, what we see today. And what I could draw from his story is that his boss also could, tap into that, because his response to his proposal was vague but exciting. So he knew that it wasn't something he would comprehend, but it would turn out to this. And today we have over 2 billion websites on, the www. So that's major.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Plug in TechCityNG.com.
So about this whole, the World Wide Web being 30, so the inventor, Tim Berners-Lee, wrote a letter sort of, and was talking about how this WW thing has gone kind of crazy because of the issues surrounding it, the whole cyberbullying, hacking, and then misleading information spreading exactly all over the world because of the existence of the WWW. But I'll just say that I feel like there has been more good than bad. Okay. Maybe because I've never really been affected by hacking or cyberbullying and all of that. People that have been affected by these things might actually say, okay, maybe this WW is a curse. But really, I think it's actually more good than bad. If not, TechCity wouldn't be here.
Okay, yeah, all of it. I really like it. Yeah.
TechCity, yeah.
I also think so. I think there's also lots of positive impact that the internet has had on us than negative, but we can do more. That's basically it. It's weird how it almost seems as if for every good thing that's done, there is always a bad side to it. True. I would really wish that there weren't any issues like some of the negative impacts that we've seen, because it seems people also say things like, oh, the same people who create some of the awesome products and maybe applications and things that you see on the internet may be the ones who also create some of the problems, just so that you can rely on them for the solutions. So I think it's
like viruses and all of that.
You took it out of the mouth. So that you think it's more good than bad or otherwise?
I think it's more good than bad, actually, especially in this part of the world where we've been able to, people have been able to grow businesses off the internet and do a whole lot and everything. And it really measures, it puts us on the same level playing ground. So in terms of infrastructure and development, we may not be where we want to be, but we can't deny the talent that has come out of Nigeria from using the internet and software. I mean, as software engineers, people who use the internet can outpace people with people in developed countries.
Yeah, it just reminds me of that young artist that drew Kevin Hart and then was replied on Twitter.
That
and all
guy.
of that. If there was no internet, that would never have happened, ever. So yeah.
Before we go, Shalewa has something to share with us, right?
Yes. So on March 3rd, 2019 was World Hearing Day, and I did some research on it, and I actually published an article on TechCityNG.com where I saw that hearing loss is a very prevalent problem in society today. So, and a lot of people who are going deaf or who have hearing loss issues have trouble with it because it goes unnoticeable. So you don't know that, you probably have issues with your hearing until it suddenly becomes really bad and it's irreversible. So one of the issues is listening to very loud music, because we get to listen to a lot of stuff using our headphones and all of that. And it's been shown that smartphones, the volume for smartphones has 120 decibels, which is really, really high, and the recommended decibels for your ear is about 85.
Oh, wow.
So we're at a risk of hearing loss by, the activities carried out every day. But a smarter way of doing it is the 60-60 rule, where you have to listen to your song. So you can listen to audio for 60% of the volume for only 60 minutes a day. Only 60 minutes a day.
Really?
So you regulate it exactly using your headphones. But even furthermore, WHO, in commemoration of the World Hearing Day, decided to launch an app, Hear WHO, like Hear Who app, which helps to check your hearing regularly. So it's a mobile app, you can download it, and then using technology, it gets to carry out a couple of tests. You listen to your hearing, and then it validates whether or not you're at risk of hearing loss. So guys, check it out.
Nice. Okay.
So that's it on today's show. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And leave in the comments below. We want to know what your emotions will be like if Google station packs up in Nigeria. I'm Dolakwa Iwade, by the way.
I'm Della Rozokoji.
I'm Shalewa Williams.
Peace.
Bye.
Living beside...
I mean, generators can make you go deaf.
Generators, yes, that's one thing.
Conductors can make you go deaf. Conductor shouting at bus stops can make you
Living beside a carpenter.